I really follow Marcus since he started with Manchester. And I always said, wow, what kind of player he is. He's unbelievable. He has speed, but also he can one against one situation. It's really fantastic. So, and also finishing, it's unbelievable.
They've got Lewandowski in. Rashford's going to shoot. Oh, what a goal that is! What a goal! That went in like an absolute Rashford rocket.
Rashford has rejuvenated his career. It's crazy how things can turn around in football. A year ago, he looked finished. Now, he's thriving in Barcelona. The man is scoring in the Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey. So far, we have seen him get a goal versus Elche, assist versus Real Madrid, a brace against Olympiacos, goal versus Sevilla, assist versus PSG, assist versus Sociedad, assist versus Real Oviedo, that awesome brace against Newcastle, and even an assist against Valencia. What makes these goal contributions so impressive is that they came from all different kinds of positions. We've seen Rashford play well as a left winger, as a right winger, as a number 9. No matter where he's been asked to play, he's contributed. And that's pretty much the reason that he was brought in. Versatility has always been his superpower. He gives Barca options.
You're on the left, and even if I have a good game, I'll be seeing what's happening on the right, and I'll be like, oh, I wish I was on the right today. So it's one of them. But as long as I'm, helping the team and, trying to find ways to have an influence on the game, then
you can plug him anywhere across the front line and he'll still deliver. That kind of versatility is very rare because some players are versatile in the sense that they can play everywhere, but they're equally trash everywhere. Rashford isn't like that, and it's something this Barca team needed badly. He's essentially been a Swiss Army knife for Hansi Flick. He can play on the left wing and stretch the pitch, run in behind and attack the back post. On the right wing, he can drive onto his right foot, get to the touchline, and either hit shots across goal or put in these early crosses. And then up top, he can pin center backs, attack space, and give you a vertical threat in transition. He's covered all 3 spots this season, and he's looked pretty comfortable wherever he's played. I mean, he's clearly better as a left winger cutting in, but he's also been good on the right, he's also been good up front, and that's exactly why Barca got him. They wanted a player who can cover multiple roles, so that the system doesn't collapse when someone is missing. What really stands out is how comfortable Rashford looks switching roles mid-game. Some players need everything planned out for them, but Rashford is actually able to read what's happening and adjust on the fly. If Lewandowski drops deep, Rashford can make the run in behind. If Pedri pulls defenders inside, Rashford stays wide to stretch the pitch. And when Yamal is doing his thing on the right, Rashford knows how to balance it out by keeping his defender occupied on the other side. Managers love players who can figure things out on their own, and Rashford has been doing exactly that.
I'm not surprised. I said yesterday that I think he's a fantastic player, great talented player. So,
and it's funny, people were comparing him with Nico Williams, who was obviously Barcelona's first target over the summer, and the difference in their performances this season has been night and day. Last summer, Barca were all over Nico Williams. I pretty much thought it was a done deal. I even made a video about it. It seemed like they had met his release clause, and the fact that he was boys with Pedri and Yamal from the national team, it seemed like a done deal. But in the end, he decided to stay with his brother. Now I get it, in Spain, players often have a very deep bond with their clubs. It's a lot more about family and culture and the identity of where you play. So he chose loyalty, and we can't really make fun of that. But I'm still gonna mock him. He pretty much decided to stay in mediocrity when he could have shined for this team. But if we're talking about who's been better this season, who was the better transfer deal, it's been Rashford. Barca got him on a 1-year loan with an option to buy for around 30 million euro. It was very smart business, very low risk, very high reward. Nico's deal would have obviously been far more expensive because of his transfer fee, signing bonus. So while Rashford wasn't the first choice, from a financial point of view, his deal made way more sense for Barca. And then performance-wise, there's no comparison. Statistically, eye test, whatever metric you want to use, Rashford has been by far and away the better player. I mean, just look at the numbers. Rashford's already hit double digits in goal contributions across all competition. Meanwhile, Nico Williams has just 1 goal and 1 assist in his first 7 league games. For Rashford, this season must feel so vindicating. Getting pushed out of your boyhood club hurts, especially when you play for a historic club like Manchester United. His relationship with some of the fans and the club broke down. People who used to back him now turn on him.
He's done well for the club, but over the last year or two, whatever about talent at a big club, if your attitude's not quite right, and his certainly hasn't been great recently, sometimes I think it's good to part ways.
You know, I actually think we talk about Marcus Rashford too much, if I'm being totally honest. You know, he's a good player. He's not a great player.
When the team struggled, he got most of the blame. People questioned his effort, said he lost his hunger.
Rashford's not good enough. Rashford's got to go.
Sell him in January.
100% sell him in January, 100%.
It got pretty ugly. I mean, when your manager is saying that he'd rather play the goalkeeper coach than you, that's never a good sign. But he's showing them all that the problem wasn't him, but rather the environment. So when the chance to join Barca came, he grabbed it. A new country, a new system, new energy. Everything he needed for a proper restart. Reports indicated that he even took a pay cut just to make the move happen. He also didn't come just to get a nice tan in sunny Catalonia. He came because he's hungry to make it back to the top. And it's been paying off. I mean, look at his Champions League debut for Barca, away at St. James's Park. A packed English crowd, crazy atmosphere, and he scores twice in a 2-1 win. It was the ultimate comeback statement, with Thomas Tuchel watching from the stands, and with everyone around the world watching that big Champions League fixture, and Rashford puts on a masterclass.
He's now got 2 in the Champions League, Darren.
Mike, this is absolutely sensational from Marcus Rashford. Thomas Tuchel is there.
First European night in new colors, and he silenced everyone who doubted him. Keep in mind, his own club had just recently lost to Grimsby Town, so while he was shining in the most prestigious club competition, his former club were getting knocked out by a 4th division side. If there was ever a Rashford is back moment, that was it. As the weeks have gone by, he's looked more and more comfortable at Barca. He looks very confident. He doesn't play with that weight on his shoulders anymore. The energy around him is different. You can tell that he feels a part of something organized, something that actually makes sense, unlike the circus show at Manchester United. He very much fell upwards. Amorim kept talking about his lack of effort and basically pushed him out of the club, only for him to come to a better team. There have been no complaints about his work rate at Barca. I've seen this guy track back late in games, even when Barca were winning, and put in a tackle. He's even more motivated now because he's playing with better players. I mean, imagine going from Ugarte to Pedri, from Garnacho to Yamal, from Højlund to Lewandowski. I mean, no wonder this guy's smiling ear to ear whenever I see a clip of him. He probably thinks he's watching witchcraft playing with these world-class players. What's really helped him though is that Barca don't rely on him in the way that United did. Back in Manchester, he was the attack. If he had a bad game, United were cooked. It was too much pressure.
I feel like I've been in an inconsistent environment for a very, very long time. So it's even more difficult to be consistent then. But yeah, I completely agree. I think consistency is what I need to bring into my game.
No player can thrive like that in an inconsistent team. It's why pretty much every single player that leaves United becomes better. Since Rashford was the club's golden boy, he always got the bulk of the criticism. The biggest criticism was that he was inconsistent, which was true. One season he would look like CR7 regen, the next season he would look like Garnacho. One game he was looking sharp, beating his man and destroying teams. The next, he was Casper the Ghost. At Barca, he's just another piece in a very strong system. If the team loses, they're not going to point their finger at Rashford and blame him for the loss. There are far bigger stars on the team who have bigger responsibilities. Guys like Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski, even the likes of Fermin Lopez. As a result, Rashford can just focus on playing football. And the irony is that this freedom has made him more consistent. Knowing that he doesn't have to be Superman every week has allowed him to actually be better week after week. At United, he had to be the guy who saved the team every week. If he missed one big chance, you could feel the whole stadium drop. That kind of pressure messes with you. You start to force things, rush shots, and overthink every touch. At Barca, it's different. If Rashford misses a shot or an opportunity, it's fine. Yamal and Pedri will just create another opportunity. If he doesn't score, it's okay, because Lewandowski and Rafinha, they can pop up with goals too. That safety net lets him relax and just play his game. He's not panicking to fix every mistake now, and that's why he's making better choices. It's why he looks so much more composed in front of goal, why he's not afraid to run at defender. And a lot of credit obviously has to go to Hansi Flick. I mean, this guy is a miracle worker. Whatever player he touches, that guy automatically gets better. Hopefully he touches me next. He's managed Rashford perfectly. He gives him praise when he deserves it, but still pushes him to improve. Like after the Elche game, when Flick said that Rashford can still make more from his chances.
His skills are unbelievable. His finishing is unbelievable. And of course, I said in the first half he tried to create chances. He had good dribblings, and but the finishing was at the end not right. And the second half was different. So for a striker, important player, and we need a player like him. So happy to have him here in Barcelona.
It wasn't criticism. It was just a challenge to Rashford so that he can keep getting better and better. That's the kind of coaching that builds real confidence. It also helps that there's less media scrutiny around him. Because seriously, in England, they really hate this guy. And I saw it firsthand with some of the reports that came out as he's been at Barca. You see, Hansi Flick has this rule for the team. If you are late to a meeting, you get benched the next game. And a lot of players have broken that rule, whether it was on purpose or by accident, we'll never know. But a lot of the more elite players have broken it. Rafinha has happened to him, Koundé has happened to him. And yet, the reports that came out when it happened to Rashford made it seem like he's one of the few guys on the team to have disciplinary issues. It was such a non-issue. He got benched in the first half, then came in the second half and played really well. But again, the way the media framed that moment, it seemed like Rashford is constantly having these disciplinary issues and that he's late all the time and that he's the only guy who's been affected by that rule. And it's not true. He's not the first guy or the last guy to break that rule from Hansi Flick. But again, the way it was framed, it made Rashford look like this guy who is just not focused, doesn't want to play, doesn't want to be there, and it just couldn't be further from the truth.
It's all new to me, but I'm enjoying learning this in this process. And yeah, I feel it's a team that's really good for me, and I think I can help them a lot. So I think it's a really good move, and I'm just really positive about the future. So my sights are just set on playing the best football I can and staying fit.
At Barca, he has gotten nothing but love, whether it was a standing ovation after a great performance, or all the different social media posts with him at the center. He is getting the PR he should have gotten at United. Of course, it goes without saying that his game isn't perfect. There are still times where he doesn't press correctly. He doesn't have his body in the right position to actually cut passing lanes. Sometimes he just turns off mentally in the game when he's on the other side and he's not getting the ball. Then you have his decision making. Sometimes he shoots when he should pass or tries to dribble through multiple defenders instead of playing a simple 1-2. We've seen it happen a lot. His ball retention could also be better. But you have to understand where this poor guy is coming from. He spent years at United in total chaos. New managers, new tactics, no real consistency. For most of that time, he wasn't being coached. His role was basically run fast, beat your man, and score. His footballing intelligence wasn't being developed, especially when Walter White was his coach. Now at Barca though, he's part of a real system with an actual structure. There are pressing triggers, passing patterns, and actual coordinated movement. It's going to take him some time to fully adjust. The good thing is though, that Hansi Flick loves details, and Rashford clearly wants to learn. The fact that Flick asked more from him after a win shows that the German really wants to help Rashford grow. That's a coach helping a player actually level up. And you can see it in his progress. He is making smarter choices overall than when he was at United. He's understanding when to take on his fullback and when to link up with Pedri. He's understanding when to keep the ball moving and when he just has to get in behind and wait for a pass. He's not forcing it every time he gets possession anymore. It's slow improvements. It's not gonna happen overnight, but at least he's getting better week in, week out. Once the pressing timing becomes second nature, by that I mean he learns when to press, when to hold, when to curve his runs, these little intricate details, he's gonna look even better. Now, if you have a fully functioning brain, hopefully you weren't on Twitter. But if you were, you probably would have seen Rashford getting a lot of criticism. The app, to be honest with you, is garbage. The only person you should follow on there is me, at Pet Talk Sports. People act like Rashford was brought in to be the next Ronaldinho or Neymar. This guy was brought in as a rotational piece. Somebody to add both quality and depth to the side in case of injuries or if Flick wants to rotate. But the poor guy was thrown into a trial by fire because so many of the major guys got injuries so early in the season. Rafinha's missed time, Yamal was injured, Lewandowski was gone, and as a result, Rashford was asked to have more responsibility than probably what he was promised when he signed for the club. But even in those conditions, he's consistently provided output no matter where he was played. Without Rashford, Barca don't beat Newcastle. Without him, they don't break some of these low, stubborn blocks. He's been one of their most consistent performers this season. Outside of Pedri, he's been maybe the most consistent. So the guys acting like Rashford is the one rooting the system makes me laugh, because the poor guy is busting his ass every game. He is just here on loan, and people are expecting him to just carry the squad. When you think about it, this is very much a story about redemption. Give him time and see how he shines when everyone around him is healthy. Rashford got crushed by the media in England. Now let me make it clear, some of the criticism was absolutely fair, but a lot of it wasn't. He went from being the hometown hero to the guy everyone blamed when things went wrong. That kind of stuff wears you down. So he made the brave choice to leave, to go to a new country, speaking a new language with new challenges. And look at him now. He's thriving. You can actually feel the relief when he talks in interviews. He sounds happy again. He's actually smiling. And the way he talks about Barca, the history, the culture, the joy of playing football here, it's like he's found himself again. I would say he didn't even just save his career, he's redefining it. He's gone from, can he carry a broken team, to can he be part of a great one? And honestly, that second question fits Rashford a lot more. Rashford didn't need a miracle. He just needed a proper plan, a clear role, and a team that didn't depend on him to do everything every week. Barca gave him that, and he's paying them back with goals, assists, and some clutch performances in massive games. Sure, there's still room to improve. His pressing and decision making aren't perfect, but he's becoming more consistent, and every single week, he looks more and more confident. A lot of United fans are tuning into his games because he's genuinely fun to watch again. Barca changed this guy's life, and it can change yours too. Just get your own Barca jersey at buygamejerseys.com and use code PETTALKS at checkout. Now, Rashford isn't the only player to get better under Hansi Flick. Ferran Torres went through almost the same transformation. To see how the Shark saved his career, you have to watch this video right here.